we get for the intro. It doesn't have a cold opening. It goes right to the title start, and you see once again it's Ellie on top of them top of the hill again by herself as a one single person. So definitely we weren't gonna get another Joel flashback. So I thought that was really cool. As everything was growing, we saw that. Then it jumps right into Dina and Jesse. What did you guys think about this whole thing with Dina and Jesse?
We're gonna start, Anzo.
Yeah, definitely a pretty good reaction. You know, I get she didn't tell him about her, you know, the pregnancy stuff like that. She probably told him, you know, and she kind of did when he
tried to give
gave
her
the alcohol. Yeah, and she was like, no. So she kind of gave it away there. It was a good scene. It was okay. I mean, I like the fact that the show actually continued where the last one left off. So that was good.
What about you, B?
Yeah, I liked how they jumped right in. I think that the way Jesse finding out about Dina was pretty well handled. I thought Isabella Merced really, you know, despite her limited screen time, like she's been doing, really made an impression. So I was happy about that. A lot of the scenes between Jesse and Ellie also really worked for me, but you know, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, really liked the cold open. It felt appropriate for the season finale.
All right, Tank, what you got?
Yeah, it was a good way to start the episode. You know, it just, hey, don't forget, you know, shit hit the fan and we're dealing with that, you know. So yeah, it was really good. And then, you know, Dina telling him without telling him kind of thing, you know. So but yeah, the actress, I forgot, Brandman just said her name. She was great. She's so great in this. I gotta admit, like, yeah, like she
looks less and less young every episode. I feel like you believe her as a more of an adult actress as we go.
Same.
One of my biggest
as a good night. I'm going to read some more Children of Blood and Bone. I'm on chapter 17. I'm seeing Lilo and Stitch tomorrow. So enjoy all of it, man, because I can't wait to talk about Lilo and Stitch.
Good night, guys.
Good night, Collector.
Later, man.
What I was gonna say is one thing that we talked about, which I kind of find annoying, is like you said, like they just have this little, you know, abandoned place, lights are on everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Aren't you guys supposed to be hiding from the wolves? And you know what I mean? You have all the lights on and you're singing and all kinds of stuff. I was like,
in a hall where you hear it all over the place. You know, it's like built like a famous theater in Seattle. I know I heard about that, and that it will be like a beacon in the middle of the city. So the fact that we don't have more zombies, more of the wolves, you know, more of all these groups, they all should know what's going on. So it's kind of weird. I agree with that. So I thought the real big thing was the fact that, you know, she got shot in the leg with the arrow, right? And Jesse, once again, Jesse is like the perfect character. You know, he knows you don't pull it out to make the wound worse. You push it all the way through to get through, so you don't have that problem anymore. Then the fact that she sounded like it was labor. So we had a visual like of her, you know, having labor with Jesse, but that's the only tapes, like little taste we get of that. I felt like that was a very important thing. When you come in, you come on, you hear her screaming, it sounds, I've been through it. It sounds like labor. and I thought that was interesting that they will do that, knowing that he's never going to make it there.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. I never thought about that, but yeah.
So he's doing all that stuff. Jesse's taking care of the day, and then Ellie's knocking on the door, trying to get let me in. So Jesse asks, hey, what's the name of your horse? And I'm surprised she remembered. Really, because we haven't heard about her horse, and she just left in that damn building for like
since episode 3, right?
That's what I'm saying. You know,
Yeah.
more episodes I heard just walking off like, oh yeah. Like, how the hell? Why would that even be the question? Because like, who the hell thinks she actually remembers? But because once again, it shows how she is so one track mind, just possessed by grief and anger, and she's forgetting what's really important or what should be important to her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of really gives us a big idea, a showing of how possessed she is about this, or obsessed she really is about it.
Yeah.
So she gets in and she's wants to pretend like she cares about Dina and everything, even though she went off to kill somebody anyway after Dina already got her shot in the leg.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, she comes in, goes to Dina. Jesse I think he starts to see what's going on with them. He leaves her alone. My question for you guys is, when Dina gave Ellie back that bracelet, do you think Jesse understood? Was that the moment that Jesse understood that they're together? They're the couple?
I think so. I think that's the moment he understood. And I think even when you go back to a conversation they have later on, he kind of says he loves her, but he's not in love with her. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yep.
He definitely seen that 100%.
Okay, I'll pause real quick. The GOAT has spoken. We got Deuce in the building. He said, gifted 10 Spoiler King memberships. Appreciate you, man. Because you know what? I'm going to do something this week. I'm putting at least 4 or 5 things out for members only this week. It's going to happen. My wife told me I need to do more, so she yelled at me. So we're going to do something this week. We'll do a lot of stuff, pushing it out, talking to you guys. But I appreciate it. You doing that for us, Deuce, man. You are just the best, and I appreciate you always pushing the word for us, man. You're awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Tinks is a member, yeah. So, but who's got a sheed? Brandon Davis got one. I got one. Books and Gers, Anthony, Dark Room, Kingdom of Nerds, and Mr. YouTube. So
Nice.
Yeah, congrats everybody. That's awesome. Thank you, Deuce.
Deuce, man, you're awesome. I really appreciate that, man. We always do. Shifty had a question. He said, didn't the horse die in the game? And the answer is yes. No, the answer is yes. Yeah, the horse that dies in the game. Early.
Interesting.
Early, very early. And that's something that changed here. Mama, how did Daddy die? Well, Mama, Daddy number 2 got him smoked. Mama, Daddy number 2. Oh man. So Ellie comes in, she finds Dina, she kind of wakes her up after she's been screaming. Dina sees her smiling softly, and Ellie goes about telling her about what happened. First she checks on the baby. She said the baby's fine. How do you know? I could tell. Okay, that's good. The second thing, she kind of goes on through the story about what actually happened, who she found, who she killed, what happened in her mind, and how she says something that's really interesting to me. She asked, "Did you kill her?" And she says no. Now, did anyone not see him like she killed her?
I mean, technically she did, but she didn't actually kill her, right? She got killed by the spores.
Blow.
Yeah, it was the spores. So,
which is probably worse. Like you allowed her to like suffer, which is like almost like you tortured her, and then by not killing her, you just allowed a different kind of torture to happen. So yeah. So,
well, do you think that HBO is going to bring that back? You know what I'm saying? Like having her turn and then come back to not bite, but to.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Bite her in the back, bite her in the butt, because she didn't kill her.
Oh, that would be interesting. I would if they did something like that.
I kind of feel like they should do that.
I see. But all those people, they don't turn into like walking zombies, don't they? Just turn into like just breathing spore zombies.
Pretty much.
All the ones that are down
there. But the fact that she was away from everybody because she didn't turn into a walking zombie, and then all of a sudden Nora gets out just the same way Ellie just magically got out because she had all those people chasing her. She magically just appeared out. Nora does the same exact thing and chases her somewhere and does something. Another person she loves dies. I just think that's something that could happen. So just put a pin in it until next season. But next season, HBO changing things up because they have changed some things up. So, but as she's having a conversation with Dina, she's telling her how easy it actually was. She thought it would be a lot harder for her, but she was able to kill and not even have any remorse and no worries at all. I thought that was telling in who she's become. So the idea that you guys said she left her to suffer, she didn't kill her. She got what she deserved. That's what Dina's talking about. And then Ellie goes on, and she tells Dina the truth about what Joel did. She kind of tells the Fireflies were going to create a cure, which is I would have died. Joel found out, he kills all of them. One of the people that he killed, Abby's dad, he was a doctor. He was going to want to make the cure, though I would have died. And she admits that's the reason that he killed him, because he was me. But I was surprised that they spelled this out, because I don't think they ever spelled this out in the game. I don't believe they do. And then the fact that the way that Dina kind of takes it was weird. She seemed very upset, even though she was so gun-ho saying it doesn't matter what happened. There's no reason to kill you in front of kill him in front of you. There's no reason, no matter what happened. And then she finds out what really happened, and she changes her tune. Was it changing this tune because she's injured, she's pregnant, or the fact that she lost her parent and her sister, and the cure could have finally helped someone else in his family, or all these people that they loved? A lot of these people could have been cured if Ellie never made it there.
It's funny because when we watched it, I had an issue with that scene too. I'm like, wait a minute, a couple episodes you said it didn't matter what he did. No, he didn't deserve that. So all of a sudden now it's an issue because you found out the truth, not to mention the fact that you're in love with Ellie. And if he had let them happen, if they let them, you would have never met her. You know what I mean? So I found her reaction kind of weird to that, to be honest with you.
I mean, I did too, because I was like, okay, now you're changing it, and now because they have to change her view, because her view was never like that in the game. It wasn't like, oh, I'm here, let's go kill some people, whatever you want. Like I had a similar story. She was never like that. She was always like the voice of reason in the game. So it was like something has to happen where she kind of starts to like realize, all the killing is pointless.
And I think that she saw Joel as one thing. And never, saw this wonderful man who fought for the people that he loved and did whatever he could to figure this stuff out. That's what he was about. And then when she finally learns the truth, changes. I think that's a big thing, So Shifty said she got her back washed first. Don't forget about that. Took off her shirt, back washed. You saw all those bruises and all the bumps and bruises that she's been taking. A lot of them. Because she's little and she shouldn't be fighting grown men. It's just
Facts.
She's a doctor. Yeah.
A doctor.
She didn't think he was he massacred the entire hospital of folks. No one would have thought Joel would be a mass murderer. I'm just telling you the truth, Shifty. If it was my daughter, I'll kill everybody. And wouldn't even blink. not blink. I would not be apologizing. I would be doing nothing. I would warn them. I would tell them, like, look, guys, I promise you it's not gonna go well for you. I'm warning you. And after I did it, I wouldn't look back. I just went out.
Yeah, 100%.
Anybody could get it.
And I think we talked about it before. It's like you guys created this virus, and now you want to take the one person that I love away from me to fix your mistake? Nah,
After
everybody's
you
dying.
already took the other person,
Already.
the most important person,
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
daughter.
yeah,
So-
exactly.
Now all y'all can get it.
Yeah, agreed.
I wouldn't bat an eye, and I think they're not looking through through those eyes. But once you become a parent,
Mhm.
everything changes.
Mhm.
Once you become a parent, you understand the love, you understand what you're really talking about what you would give for that person. And I think that's why it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, why, like, Dina, from being how she was a few episodes ago to now finding out what happens with Joel, and then she becomes a parent, like, it convolutes everything with her. When
Agreed.
she finally does have the kid, it's gonna convolute like all these different feelings. So yeah.
And that's true, Shifty. Yeah, he was like a father figure to her too. So it would be like, yes, I'm still with you. Maybe Joel did these things, it was bad, but he didn't deserve to die like that. So yeah, it was just weird, really weird.
Mhm.
Said everybody, exactly. Everybody get it. I don't care. No facts. There's no problems. But Maria says, but that wasn't that. The thing is, it wasn't his daughter.
Well, I think it was kind of the surrogate daughter, kind of approach
Yeah.
that they took. Joel came to, look at her,
As
we
his
saw
daughter.
as his daughter, and we saw how protective he became of her over the course of season 1, especially. And I have to consider the parallels between Ellie and then Sarah, his biological daughter that he lost. So it was kind of filling a void in that regard, voluntarily, I guess or involuntarily, I'd say.
And I think so. Biologically, I'm thinking what you're going at. Biologically, that wasn't his daughter, right? But have you ever seen someone that have an adopted kid, or someone that you feel like that's I would do anything for this person because I love that much because of what they meant to you in your life?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're still a child, you would treat them like they're your kid. So to me, especially in a post-apocalyptic world, that matters just as much. And I will see them as my daughter and see them as my kid, not just because it came out of my body, because that's how I love them.
Yeah,
and I will take you out.
Yeah, especially in that world where you don't have anything, and so many people have so little. Where in his mind, he's like, "This is my daughter now." This no, that's it. So
I agree. B says, "I hate kids, but I'll die right this second for mine." I wouldn't not just me die. I'll kill everybody else.
Facts.
And if someone did to me, I'll just be like, well, I had it coming.
Yeah.
I won't be mad. I just be like, yeah, you're right. Mama Bear says he looked at her like a daughter. Exactly.
Yeah.
Elle says, I am an Abby sympathizer in that I think her and Ellie are parallel journeys. Yeah. Ellie would have done the same that Abby did, thing that Abby did, and vice versa. Curious to see how non-gamers take on Abby led to the Abby led narrative.
It's going to be interesting. See, and I'm a gamer, but I haven't played this game, so it's going to be interesting to see how they go forward with it. But I can see where the game or the show is trying to make you understand what Abby went through, and then doing the same thing with Ellie, right? So that you could see the parallels of how they went or how their lives have actually ended up. So I'm excited to see what they do with the next season, how they handle that.
What you think about that, B?
Yeah. With as far as Abby goes?
Yeah, the Abby, what we just talked about, Abby parallel with Ellie and how people going to do with the Abby led narrative in next season.
I'm interested in seeing it be explored. I think that is the logical way to go. I think it's going to help with expanding this world if we see, you know, a POV in that regard. So I'm, you know, I kind of this is going to be a weird comparison, but I'm kind of looking at it as I did Peacemaker, that series where, you know, by the end of the Suicide Squad, I'm like, he killed Rick Flag, screw this dude. But then I kind of came to understand him and, you know, kind of sympathize with him when he got his own show and we explored him more. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Abby. Hopefully I get a similar feel.
As far as you said Peacemaker, I was like, what the hell? And then I thought about it, I was like, yeah,
that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
What you take?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm a sympathizer, but I do agree with the parallels, like very much, you know, and they kind of, you know, would have acted, I think, similarly with you know, the fathers dying. So yeah, I am curious to see how it goes with next season. You know, how close they're gonna follow the game.
That's a real good question.
How close they're gonna follow the game.
My only thing about Abby is that she killed Joel in front of his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big
tortured.
And tortured. That's the big no-no. You know, it wasn't killing Joel. Fuck, Joel deserved to die. That's cool. If I knew something like that,
and he knew it.
That's fine. That's cool. Exactly. He knew what was going on. He understood what it was. He didn't try to fight back and understand. But doing it in front of your daughter, that's why I draw the line, and that's why I say Abby's an asshole. Now, I don't like Ellie either, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really hold much. But I'm more of understanding why people do things, as parents and as children, to do that, but then to do the same thing to another person just doesn't make, you know, give that same pain to another person, pass that pain on that you just went through to another person. That's why I draw the line. That's why I have a problem with.
And it's funny too, because when I saw that scene, I'm like, Joe could get out of this. You know what I mean? Like, there are a bunch of kids. Joe could get out of this. But then you realize, like you said, he knew his time was up, and you know, sometimes when it's that time, you just accept it. And I think that's what he did.
Mama Bear says, don't threaten my daughter. Everybody be zombies. Everybody.
Yeah.
And they all deserve it. Says, keep in mind, I only know this show through these guys.
I was going to say, everyone becomes zombies because then you can kill them again.
Exactly.
I'm going to kill you. You turn zombie, I'm going to kill you again.
Facts.
Shifty says, never sympathize with John Cena. Never. L says, even with their ages, Abby didn't experience this until she was at the age Ellie is now. Ellie is taking Abby on immediately with no emotional growth since the incident. It's interesting. That's a really good point. And I think that's the part of the problem I have with Ellie and how much of a pain in the ass she is. You know, she thinks she knows without any life experience. Like without any understanding of how life really goes or how other people matter. And even when Jesse's trying to explain that to her, she's still just a little asshole the entire time.
Yeah.
But also I think that's an issue of them changing from the game. Because in the game, like, there's a lot of people telling Abby, like, hey, let's let it be done. Let's move on. Owen's the only one that, you know, kisses her ass, but everyone else is like, you know, like, it sucks, but we got to move on with our lives. You know, so she had people around her telling her otherwise. Meanwhile, in the game, Ellie had a lot of people like, you know, like, hey, go get your fucking revenge. Go, here's the gun. You know, like when Tommy leaves, Maria's the one who's like, hey, go get my husband back. And if you're gonna kill some of them, cool. You know, and then Tommy, you know, also, I don't want to get into spoilers, but Tommy also is very much of an asshole, you know, in the game.
They changed this show. They changed Tommy so much in this show.
Yeah, but later on,
it's gonna be.
I'm gonna see what. Like, I'm curious to see what they do with that. If Elle knows, then she knows, because there's a part where I'm like, I wanted to punch him through the TV in the video game. I was like, you motherfucker, you know, like all people, motherfucker, you know. It pissed me off, man, because I got so pissed off at Tommy. But
that's because all the stuff that he did in the game. From at this point, like the shit that he did, to this point was fucked up, was terrible. None of that stuff happened in this show.
No. I mean, it changes a lot of him. So that's why I think there's an Ellie problem in the show, because Abby had a lot of people saying like, "Hey, just forget it. It sucks. Let's move on." And then Ellie had a lot of people were like, "Here's the gun. Go kill motherfuckers." So and then you don't have that in the show. So it's kind of Ellie, on her own, which makes her look immature and stupid.
Yeah.
Instead of people around her peer pressuring her. So.
Agreed.
So that's why I always say I'm going to be F Abby.
Same.
Yeah, it's just you don't do that in front of your kids. That's it's things that you don't. It's a line I draw. Kill everybody, cool. Don't do it for your kid. I realize I can watch the stream now. By the time I actually watch season 2, it'll be a lot long forgotten anything that we were talking about.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong at all.
Says, can get out of this. He's freaking Amando. Obviously, all he has to do is come on. Grogu should have got him out. Come on.
Everyone gets forced to start choking all of a sudden.
Exactly. Mama says they're zombies. They haven't changed yet. I saw them get infected. I swear.
I swear.
The Seattle Slayer himself. That dude. Yeah. I mean, what? But they don't do it. It's so weird. I don't know exactly what's going on or what they're going to do differently in season 3. And this is why I don't think it's all going to be season 3 is going to be all Abby. I think it's going to be 3.5 episodes.
If we get 7 episodes again.
Yep. 3.5 episodes. So I said 3 fully on Abby because we starting on day 1, right? Then day 2, then day 3, and then half that's going to connect her and we'll get back to where Abby and Ellie. And then we're gonna do Ellie's thing when she does it, where she goes, and then there's gonna be things that bring them back. And I don't think they finish it, but I think what they do is they at least bring her back to facing Abby by episode 7. So that's why I don't think it's all Abby. I think it's going to be mostly Abby's narrative, though.
And this is if they make a season 4 like they want.
Yeah,
because if they don't, then it's going to be 3 episodes Abby. 3 episodes of trying to get them back, and then they'll figure out something on that last episode, but it's going to be feel real rushed.
No, you don't. No, I don't say. Yeah, I don't think they could do a 4th season. I'm like, you want 14 more episodes? That's way too much. And then if you end season 3,
but I don't know if you could do unless you do season 3 at 12 episodes.
Maybe you get 10 episodes. To get 10 episodes, season 3, call it a day, done.
Because but
they already said, because I've been watching a bunch of interviews, like they're gonna do an Abby flashback. They want to do at least one side story. So they already said it's gonna be a Joel and Tommy side story, a flashback prequel side story, and they want to do possibly another side story.
Why?
Because they want to fucking milk it. I'm like,
you
can finish the game in 7 episodes. You really could. You can do day 1, day 2, day 3. Then you do
time that we are back to
the theater. Everything that happens in the theater, and then there's the end of the game,
the prologue, epilogue, or whatever you do with
the end of the game, which you could do that in two episodes. So even if you get Abby 1, 2, and 3, and you get a Abby flashback, because I think they're going to show her in the hospital and finding all the shit out, which is going to be really fucked up, and that's going to be how you sympathize with her when she sees it through her eyes.
They showed part of it. Do you think they're going to do that again?
Yeah, because they only showed her. It was like in her head talking to herself. I think they're going to show it actually happening.
Yeah, I think so too. From her perspective, I can see that.
And then they go back to the theater, and then the last 2 episodes are going to be. If and that's all they need, they can finish this in a 3rd season. They don't need a 4th season. They're like, we need a 4th season. No, you don't. You don't.
And that's why.
That's at that point you're running it into the ground.
Yeah, they're milking.
No one's going to be there.
Yeah,
because from season 1, the end of season 1, it's a 55% drop. Since the beginning of season 2, it's a 30% drop.
Wow.
If you go to season 4, there's not gonna be no one watching it.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. And just how the story plays, where I see it ending, and then like even when you're playing the game, you're like, oh, this is the end of the game, and then you're like, oh shit, and then you got 2 more hours left. I'm like, they're not gonna make those 2 hours, 3 hours of gameplay stretch out to what, 7
Well,
hours, 7
What
episodes.
this tank off is when they finish the story.
They're not. He already said they're not. He already said they're not.
If they're not going to finish the story, then how do you do another?
They're gonna. Neil Druckmann and the other showrunner said it's gonna end the same as the game. That's it. They're not gonna go past anything else. It's gonna be the game, and that's
I
it.
don't know how to do 14 episodes.
No.
One of the biggest misses in the show is that no one ever tossed a bottle to lure a whole pack of clickers and then take them all out with Molotov, alcohol or whatever, and blow a bomb. Best move in the game.
Yeah.
Well,
the lack of zombies altogether.
Yes, I was just about to say that. The lack of zombies altogether in this game, in this show, is the problem.
In the season.
In the season,
yeah,
there's a problem.
The season's been really bad. Said I think the show does have a problem forgetting clickers exist. They're so loud, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, y'all. You're trying to get bit with lights on, playing music, and doing all the things, and like no one hears them. Yeah. What up, Ty? How you doing, man? It's been a while. Appreciate you.
Yo, what's up?
So I think there's enough content to backtrack as Abby from the stadium, and then the Seraphites, etc. And then Shifty says season 4 covering the epilogue could be an HBO movie. That's what I thought I was going to say. Could we just do a movie?
Yeah, 2 hour.
2, 3
one long episode. I'm cool with that. If they
do
like
why Stranger Things thing. But if they do that, are we going to run into the same problem that Stranger Things is going to come into? Who cares in 2028?
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
6 years later. More at all. My best says I would not be a trustworthy in the zombie apocalypse. Pineapple on pizza, zombie. You had to catch me first. Hey, as a non-zombie, the first shot is not going to take me down. Abby was fueled by rage and revenge, but let Ellie live. She was fueled by rage and rage and revenge for 5 years. That's a long. How do you be mad that long? I don't care what happened. Like, can you imagine? Let's just imagine you driving. Like, someone did something to you in California, and you're in New York, and you're driving. 20 hours later, you're not gonna be that same mad. She held on to that for 5 years.
It's crazy.
Nah, you can't be that same mad. Come on. Shifty would love an epilogue explored more. Yeah, would love it.
Yeah.
What if they pulled Westworld and give us an episode from one of the effective points of view?
Interesting.
But it would be why.
Yeah,
that would be one thing. It would need to serve a purpose, like the episode 3 in season 1, the big, Nick Offerman one. It was a side story, but it served a purpose of, there's still people who care about each other in this really shitty world, Yeah.
Fernando says, I think season 3 is going to be Abby versus the cult.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
The Molotov cocktail. Yep. What's good, She just got a membership from Deuce.
Yeah.
Deuce just gave you a membership, so that's awesome. I only played the first part of the game, so I know nothing else. What's going on? Well, now in the show, as far as we are right now, we have Ellie, kind of going over the medicine, sitting there with talking about she needs some bullets from Jesse. Jesse just throws it to her, and you can tell he's pissed. He is tired of her. And she seems to still not understand why she's pissed, why everyone's pissed with her. And another reason why you just want to strangle shit out of her. Like, what the hell? So, they go out. He has to go. They decide to go check on Tommy. This is the rendezvous point in the bookstore. And Dina's going to lock up. This is where Ellie gets Dina's look. wrist bracelet thing, which tells them what's going on between them. And then they walk out the door, get out of there, and then now it's just Ellie and Jesse walking. Okay, as Dina locks herself into the theater. As they're walking, you're getting Ellie's just still trying to talk to him, and it's you feel the tension between them.
Mm-hmm.
And she's asking questions, and Jesse's just responding flat to her, like, "Look, and it's so funny because Ellie's just walking like dee 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 dee, and Jesse has his gun ready to go at all times, like he's trying to do what he's supposed to be doing, and she's just like walking down like a Sunday fucking drive, and that's another thing that annoys me, and then Jesse kind of goes through how he found him. Say, hey, checked out your horse, saw the WLF, went to the radio station. We put a 2-mile radius, and took 2 days, and we found you. It's that simple. Mostly because you're loud as hell, and you do all type of stuff. And I think this is the point where you start to realize how immature Ellie is. So Jesse talks to her about, hey, I know what's going on with Dina. I know what's going on with you and Dina. I'm cool with it. I don't even mad about that, but I want to be a father. I want to be a father with her. I want to co-parent. And you put me out here in this fucking place where we're trying to hurry up and live, and you're still trying to do your dumb shit. And I'm tired of it. So like, and he's mad at her because she didn't tell him anything about the pregnancy. Of course, not knowing anything, she confirms it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that, which is the stupid move. Just how many dumb things can we get from Ellie in one episode? I was just so tired of it. So
agreed, because she was like, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, you were testing me, like you didn't know. I just told you, like, yeah, obviously he didn't know. Like you fell for the whole trick, Yeah, she did a lot of dumb things in this episode, a lot.
And did anyone else feel that when he said, hey, I'm about to be a father, so I can't die, knowing immediately that you're going to die?
100%.
Yep. He signed his own death certificate right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when was it a few episodes ago, I forgot who in the chat, we were talking about Jesse, and somebody was like, oh, Jesse reminds me of Joel. And in my head, I'm like, you have no idea how much he's going to be like Joel. But yeah.
One other question for you guys. When you saw the mural, of I don't remember what her name is.
The scars,
yeah.
Chick, feel her love or whatever.
Did anyone feel like that was a different painting than we saw from the first time?
It was.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, she's black now.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
And isn't that the kind of the point to me? I don't know. This is where I took it, that they believe the prophet changes bodies, and there's always a new prophet going forward.
Well, I kind of to your degree, but I'm thinking maybe the original one or the one they had first died, and she's.
And they just believe that she just transferred into another prophet, another body, just like the Dalai Lama or something. To that point, like, that's what I thought immediately. So whatever, they get into that little park of the garage because it starts pouring, so they kind of trying to get out of the rain. Then they hear something. All right, so they hiding out, and we see the scars and the wolves kind of going through, fight, whatever. And you see a young Scar being pulled by the wolves, and of course, Ellie wants to go ahead and fight. She wants to go save him. How? And Jesse's like, didn't we just have this fucking talk?
Didn't we just,
yeah.
I just told you I gotta live. Stop doing stupid shit. And the first thing you want to do, you see someone out there, you want to jump out there and try to save the day.
For real.
And I was just another time where I'm like, dude, let her go.
Yeah, let her catch a bullet.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Trying to protect her all the time is going to cost you your own life.
One sec, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
All right.
So this young Seraphite guy gets pulled out. Ellie's looking at Jesse like, you're wrong. What the fuck is wrong with you? And she walks off all angry and stuff. And Jesse's like, why are you so stupid? Like, does she have a death wish or what? Like, is that she's so blinded by her revenge and her idea of what's right or wrong that she can't see what's going on? Or is it that she sees herself in that young Seraphite when she was captured?
That's a good point.
She probably could see that, but again, she's not thinking about the other people that's with her. You know what I mean? And she's making really dumb decisions because he says, like, yo, there's how many? 9 of them and 2 of us. Like, what are we gonna do? So she rushes to do certain things without thinking. I get it. She's a kid, but yeah, it's stupid decisions. You gotta be a little bit smarter.
Yeah. I think like also like what you said, she has this sense of righteousness. Like I'm on the right side of things. It's like yeah, I get it, but also, what good are you if you're dead? And it kind of goes back to like her like being cocky because like I can't get infected, I'm invincible. It's like yeah, no, you're not. But connecting it to her past with her being captured and like a prisoner.
Almost.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a good one.
So I just exactly what I thought. I thought immediately that she was just still being selfish because I don't see her looking at someone else and not thinking about herself. That was my whole thing. So.
Yeah.
All right, we got you guys in chat. Fernando says, if Abby's father is the most important thing to her in her life, and was very close to Abby being enraged for 5 years, is justified. I still don't think you have a justification for killing another girl's father in front of her. I don't know what the justification could be for that.
Yeah.
Killing him, yes, 100%. You have a goal. This is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna kill Joel.
Yeah.
But in front of his daughter, no, man. I can't see it. I just don't know.
Agreed.
So not only is it justified, but the actress playing Abby got her show start on the show justified.
She sure was unjustified.
I see what you did there. He says that is how terrible Ellie was. Terrible is not is the understatement about Ellie. I don't want anyone to think that I'm an Ellie fan either. I am not an Ellie fan. I'm not an Abby fan. I think they both are awful, terrible people, and they should have got what they. Jesse should have been. Jesse should live. I want a teacher said Jesse should have lived. That's what.
I was like, you might be a couple of years late.
with
the game. Oh man, yeah.
My girl brought cookies in here, so I'm thinking of chocolate chip. I go to get one oatmeal raisin. Don't bring that issue to my crib. Remember how mad she got when Jesse, after he saved her life 2 episodes ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, dude. I can't just say anything good, positive about Ellie in this entire episode. This entire episode is about her.
Most of the season.
Yes, most of the season.
Too, but yeah, especially in this episode.
We got Delta Dan in the building. What's up, Dan? How you doing, man? All right. At this point in the show, we finally get to the Wolves. We get to Isaac, and he's going over his plan. And Isaac is asking, "Hey, where's Abby? Where's Abby? I need to know Abby." And his lieutenant is like, "Why the F do you care about this one soldier? She's just one of whatever. We have hundreds of soldiers. Why are you so worried about her?" Isaac kind of explains. All those other ones ain't worth ish, basically. If we're going to die, we might die tonight. And do you want this whole thing to end, or do you want it to be able to continue? The only person that could get this to continue is Abby. And this is the first insight into who Abby is now that we've gotten this season. So thought that was a pretty important scene. And that everyone was willing to die for their cause. Anyone got anything different from that?
No, I got the same thing.
I got pretty much
Yeah.
the same. Yeah, I think that was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, then finally Jesse and Ellie get to the bookstore. Of course, Jesse locks up the doors, closes everything out. Ellie starts asking stupid stuff again. And then Jesse says something I thought that was kind of smart. He said, "Oh man, me and you in bad weather."
Yeah.
It's like that. In my eyes, that felt like he meant like death. No matter what, death is following us.
Yeah.
Ellie then looks at a nice Sesame Street book. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. And then she brings it over there to Jesse, and Jesse's like, "Yeah, I probably should have done that too." I think that's showing that Jesse still hasn't really figured out, how he's going to feel or how he wanted to be a father, but that he does want to be a father.
Oh, 100% he wants to be a father because he was like, I can't die. You know what I mean? Like she can't die and now I can't die. So he was excited. He wanted to be a father, but we don't know what happens, right?
Also, the book she picks is the monster at the end of this book. And if that isn't like foreshadowing a bunch of shit, I mean, come on, man, come on.
It is the name of the book.
Yeah, which is an awesome book. I love that book. As a kid book it. But
yeah, like Flo. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
Monster at the End of the Box is like one of the best like kids books ever, and Flo. But yeah.
Just like Flo. Then Jesse kind of tells Ellie a story about this girl that came to town. So remember 2 weeks ago that family, the group that came, the girl. He talks about that. What did you do? Says one of the best 2 weeks of my life. Honestly, she asked me. She was with that group. She couldn't leave them, so she asked me to go, and I wanted to leave. And I didn't leave because of what Jackson did to me. They raised me. They're all expecting me to become this leader for all of them. So I went my own happiness in order to make sure that they were okay. And I think the whole story is about the selflessness, not selfish, selflessness of Jesse, and how you compare it to Ellie, and show how bad of a person she is. And when you compare them, when you see someone who's good in this show, you expect them to die. 100%.
Facts.
And there's not many, but yeah.
So what did you guys get from that whole Jesse story with Ellie?
Again, like I said, to me, it's like he wants to be a father and he wants to survive, and he knows that what he's doing, like Ellie's being reckless, all this stuff is going to get people hurt, right? And he's worried about that. So I like the fact that he wanted to be a father,
Yeah.
Excited about it.
You simultaneously trying to talk sense into her and kind of stop her from being so rash and impulsive. That's what's kind of been messing things up for everyone. She just wants to jump in head first when and is way too stubborn to see that she's in over her head. So it seems like she's always getting bailed out through dumb luck.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. That just shows like I'm willing to sacrifice myself for the greater good. Like you're willing to sacrifice the greater good for yourself, and that's the difference between them two, so it's like he's like is better than her, like but morally, like I think he has better, I won't say head on his shoulder, but like this There you go. Having a moral compass gets you killed. But yeah, he had a moral compass. Like he was a dude where he's like, like I have people I have to look out for. I have, a community.
And
Yeah.
Well, I think that's also another thing that's foreshadowing is that now how effed Jackson's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%.
How important he really is.
Yeah.
Jackson's going to be screwed.
Man, I wonder if they show that in the third season.
I think they have to. That's why I think they have to.
Because that would be all brand new. That would be brand new content.
Mm-hmm.
But it's inferred, so it's not like you're making it up. It's inferred and stuff. So that's why I feel like,
holy shit.
Yeah, I could definitely see them doing that. Nice.
That's why I said, shit.
Deuce did it again. I saw the goat. The Deuce is the GOAT for these reasons. He dropped another 20 memberships. This is why he's the GOAT. This is why I don't even talk about Deuce until I play the GOAT screaming. And I know it irks Brand Man, and I do it anyway. I also like to sperm a little bit. I just like it a little bit.
I'll allow it in this context. in the context of our channel, yes, I will allow it.
But no, he did it again. This is amazing. He got Delta Dan got it. Dominique got one. Xavier Flood got one. YK Reviews.
Nice.
Not Williams got one.
Nice.
Nolan T. Comic Boom. Toxic Gamer. D Stizzle. Jay Sleek. Terrian. Eric Patterson. The Matt Film Show. Ghost MKC. Ashley Pate. All became members because of Deuce. Dude, once again, thank you again. You are so amazing. This is why you're the GOAT, and so that's why I will stop anything we're doing to show how much he's the GOAT.
Yeah. That's 30 members that you brought in tonight, man. So that's awesome.
Even Mama Bear says Deuce is the GOAT. 100%. So once again, man, Deuce, thank you. Appreciate you. And
fire. Good job, Deuce.
I don't even know which one we're going to play, but why not?
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
And one more.
Yeah. Shit. Got your ass.
Dude, you're awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, thank you, Deuce.
You're really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so yeah, Maria says having a moral compass gets you killed on the show. Yeah, I definitely think they go back to Jackson, show how much Jackson's changed without Jesse, because they kind of foreshadowed that with Tommy not being able to do the same thing, and how Jesse was picking up for Tommy, and he was starting to just become everything that they needed. Yeah, especially after Maria gets gone. After Maria's gone, who's going to run that town? What's going to happen there? I think they did an amazing job with that, and I can't wait to see that part. And that's the thing I think we're going to see. Maybe a flash of that as the story of what's going on with Jackson in season 3.
I like that.
I think that could be some of the stuff that they cut into with the Abby stuff, right? Because you were saying that you don't think Abby's going to be like for the whole season, but if they give little so if they give little things about the effects of what happened to Jackson, I could see them doing that.
Yeah, I don't see them doing the entire season. That's just what it is, and especially with the numbers, as we talked about, as I said before, the numbers are dwindling. They're going down, and if that's what's going to happen, you got to do star power, which means you're going to have to do side quests. You're going to do anything to bring Ellie back in there,
bring Pedro back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or I had a quote. Because I think if they need to know from HBO if they're going to get the 4th season or not before they start doing the 3rd season, because they got to know, like, all right, are we going to finish the story here? Or are we going to finish the story then? So where they have it. But so this was from the Hollywood Reporter, and this is from one of the showrunners. And he said next season we'll probably have a lot more flexibility to tell side stories. Maybe a side trip to Joel and Tommy terrorizing the countryside. We'll never know. I wouldn't have guessed we'll have a short story with Joel's dad before we wrote the season. But Tommy's been in a war. We also know that for some time he and Joel were doing some pretty bad things. So there's potential of seeing other side of Tommy, and that is now about him delivering to his understood promise to his brother. So I think we're just gonna get a whole side story of Tommy and Joel. Like, he's already in the showrunner in his mind, in his head, is already has this side story set. So we're gonna get Pedro back, and of course you need to get Pedro back.
Yeah,
need a star power.
People want to see him. Yeah. So
without him,
yes.
People said I'm never watching the show ever again as soon as Pedro died. So,
I mean, they said the same thing at the game. Like, that's it. The game's over. You killed the main character. But it needs to make sense. If you're doing a side story like that, it needs to make sense in the story. Same thing if you want to do, like, from the infected point of view, it needs to make sense. It needs to either elevate Abby or Ellie's side of their story. If it doesn't, if it's just a side story just to tell you a side story, I don't want that.
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah, agreed.
They have to do more with Tommy and make that be the side story, connect Tommy to what's going on, what he's doing there.
Yeah.
That's what he has to do. All right. So Jesse and Ellie here on the radio. That's a sniper somewhere killing wolves. And they run upstairs to look outside, and they kind of see where it's going. Well, Jesse's looking for where it could be Tommy, and no, Ellie is looking at the Ferris wheel and the whales, the whale and the wheel, as Nora talked about. And she's like, I got to get over there. Tommy will understand. And Jesse's like, Tommy's under fucking gunfire. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah,
let's go get him.
What are you thinking?
Your girlfriend is sitting there dying and shit.
Facts.
Yeah.
Go ahead, B. Sorry, man.
No, you took the words out of my mouth. You said exactly what I was thinking. No, go ahead.
No, I mean, it makes no sense. Why? Once again, just so thirsty over vengeance.
Rash.
Think about anyone else.
Yeah. And I think that's the first time Ellie's ever been told straight up, like, you're an asshole. You're an asshole.
Yeah.
Laid it flat out like that, but she's stubborn and stupid.
What did he say? He said, because the problem is everything you do for you. And of course she's like, fuck the community, fuck everybody, fuck you, fuck. And he's like, yeah, she calls him a hypocrite. And she's so wrong because he gives everything of himself to save her. She calls him a hypocrite.
Yeah, calls him.
I don't ever encourage anyone to hit a female. But anytime someone had to do it, Jesse could have punched her in the face right then. And I would be like,
I mean, hit her with the gun, knock her out, throw her over your shoulder, and by the time you're close enough to Tommy, what's she gonna do? She gonna keep, like, fuck, you're already here, so too bad. Yeah, that was annoying.
But that was the first time I was so happy that Jesse said, "You're on your own. Fuck you."
Me too.
And he should have kept his fucking word.
But he said it in a nice way. On top of that, he said, he's like, "Oh, I hope you make it." It was like,
he's such a nice. Oh,
yeah.
She don't deserve this ish. Like, she just doesn't deserve how good he is. So, whatever. We get to Isaac. Isaac is making his plan. We know what his attack on their island, on the Scars Island. We know what's going to happen with that. So, we see that whole scene. Ellie finding the boat, because we understand. So the Scars Island is the only way you were going to get there from the aquarium is from boat by boat. So she sees them kind of selling off all those. It had to be at least 15 ships, boats, selling off to go attack the Scars, which was crazy. Once again, what the hell she thinks she's going to do? 15 boats with her versus her. She can't beat one regular person.
Facts.
Why she think she's going to beat 15 boats full of people? Like, the irrational thinking is so bad.
She stayed hidden though. She wasn't that stupid.
She had her gun out thinking about trying to shoot these dudes.
Yeah, the two dudes.
Yeah, like you're just whatever. So we see all the boats, see all the people getting on. They have all the suitcases. She decides she sees a boat. She jumps on the boat and she starts riding because she's been on many boats before. Like, she knows the fuck she's doing. So as she's sailing off, she sails right into a storm. See all the water, everything. She sees a giant ass wave, and I don't know if she tries to avoid it. I don't know. Even though, like, anyone who's been on a boat knows you have to get there to top for a crest.
Gun it. You gun it.
You have to. You get to the top by a crest, then you will be okay because the water is going to come down, and you naturally be okay. Of course, she doesn't do this. She wipes out. Boat ends up on another island. She's crawling out of the water, and she sees a little boy. And of course, the little boy is whistling, telling the rest of the Scars, "Hey, she's here. Come get her." They snatch her up, pull her up there. The little boys, they look at the little boy. What do you want to do with him? They have a rope already ready for her. One size fits all. Put her in. She finally gets what she deserves. She gets the noose around her. They pull her up, and then the attack starts. Lucky motherfucker again. Say thank you, Isaac, because without Isaac, she'd be dead.
It's just,
and again, that's the jumping into battle without thinking. She almost died, and if it wasn't for Isaac, she would have died. So
she would have been dead. She would have been gone. She just had good timing. Of course, she doesn't say, "Let me hurry get home so we can get out of here, out of this war," because all these people are fighting and someone's going to die that I love. No, this motherfucker still goes to the aquarium.
Facts.
Like, I mean, when you see that, you're just like, what the hell? And what do you think you're gonna do? Of course, she gets to the aquarium. She's going around looking for someone, and she sees two people. And I don't know. This is probably, probably the hardest thing to watch, knowing it's coming. What's the guy's name again?
Owen.
Owen, right?
Owen.
So we see Owen and we see what's her name?
Mel.
Owen and Mel. Okay, so you see Mel, you see Owen. They're talking. They have a conversation. Owen said, "Well, I'm doing this, whatever." She says she holds a gun to them, says, "Hey, show me where is Abby. I want to know where she is right now." And Owen, said, "I ain't telling you shit." And he's like, "Look, you bring me the map. You point to it, and the next person point to it. And if it's not the right thing, if it's not the same thing, I'm going to kill you." All right. Owen finally says, "Okay, I'll do it." So he's like reaching for the map, slowly trying to get to the map, grabs the gun. Ellie shoots him. But this is different from the game.
Oh, way different.
She shoots him, and immediately she has remorse. She's a scared little kid. I didn't see that. At least that's not my feeling in the game at all.
Well, in the game, it's they kind of have a little tussle, and she accidentally shoots him in the neck.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
She shoots
him in the belly.
Yeah,
she shoots him in the belly. He falls down, and then she goes to him, and she asks him some questions, and he pretty much says like, "F off," and then she shoots him in the neck.
Yeah,
on the floor. Why he's on the floor dying, so she just finishes the job. Here, it's very different, and this is like one of the scenes that I thought they did way better in the show than in the game, specifically because of Mel's part of it. But yeah, this was a rough scene. It was so much, I think, so much better than the game.
Mm.
How do you guys feel about the scene?
I thought it was great. I loved it because so one thing I did have an issue with, and it's the same thing that happened with the first girl, right? You have them at gunpoint. It's like, here, let me get this, and boom, they pull out a gun. Like she should have been smarter. Should have knew that that's what was gonna happen right away. You know what I mean? But yeah, when she shot, and then the pregnant girl got hit, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's tight. Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, especially with Bella Ramsey's
Performance,
kind of facial reaction.
Yeah.
Because you kind of see the reality kind of set in. And I feel like she even kind of finally got a grasp on you know, just how real this revenge mission of hers is, and you know, the fact that you know, innocent people are catching strays because she's that like kind of blindly and irrationally hell-bent on getting to Abby, you know. You know, shot a pregnant girl in the neck.
Facts.
Just awful, right? That was just unbelievable how bad that was.
Yeah, and so, I think Bella Ramsey's reactions are what really, in particular, sold that scene. You know,
the actress who was Mel. Oh my god, the
actress who was Mel.
Yeah,
with everything that happened on the floor.
Yeah,
boy.
And then, so what we were talking about is that so she shoots Owen, and Mel gets hit right across her neck. He starts to bleed out, and she takes a knife out and looks at Ellie and says, cut it out, cut it out right now. I want you to tie off the umbilical cord and, you know, take her. And Ellie is so freaked out, she does nothing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Mel doesn't even understand what's going on. He thinks that she's saying, you're doing a good job. Just go ahead, take her out. Is she out yet? She's so far gone, and it's so intense. And man, I don't know. You can even have a heart and watch that and not feel something for that scene. It was just so bad. You see the blood just gushing out and it's coming, and you know, I'm literally screaming on the street. We do a live stream. I'm screaming, cut the baby out right across the bottom of the belly. Do it. She's like, cut deeper than you need to. Do it. But you're strong enough to go through revenge and take people's lives, and not strong enough to do that.
But she doesn't know. That's the thing. She didn't know. So, and she was talking in medical terms. You know, like how many people would know? Like, was it I forget what she said. I know it was transverse. I think it was like a medial transverse or something like that. Who the fuck knows that?
He hasn't gone. Well, if I was in that situation, I would know. You know what C-section is. You know how low she's about to die. You see what the baby bump is. You got to figure out a way how to get that out, or try.
Yeah, I mean, but then yeah.
But would she know what a C-section is, right? Because they don't really know much, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so,
you know, because you're thinking you cut it out. It's like what you just like, you know, slice down the belly and pull it out. You know, it's like no, man. Like you go, you know, lower than that. So yeah, I get it. And then you're freaking out.
Know how to go that low to the abdomen and have to pull, and then all the stuff you have to have done.
You know, so you know it's you know, and then realizing what you did, you know, was just that scene alone made this whole episode like I would say like, but that was probably the best scene of this entire episode. I think.
Agreed.
You know, just because it was so gut wrenching. You know. You know, and we just sat in it too. On top of that, you know, her like grabbing the belly, constantly looking over the belly. You know, her telling her, like, "Is it out? Is it out?" Like, "Oh, you're doing a good job." It was like she ain't doing shit. You know, so it was like she's that much in shock. So it was just like, you know. And in the game, I don't know if anybody played the game. So in the game, Ellie and Owen have a little, you know, tussle, fighting for the gun. You know, so she eventually kills Owen, and then her and Mel have a little fight. and then she accidentally shoots Mel, and then when she lays Mel down after shooting her, she notices the belly and then sees it and then freaks out. So you're like, you get the same feeling like, oh shit, and she's like, what am I doing? But in the show, they just take it to a whole nother level of like Mel not wanting to fight, accidentally killing Mel, and then that whole thing with trying to get the baby out was wow, man. Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
It was one of the few scenes in the entire show that is probably better in the show than in the game. Yeah.
And then when Tommy comes and picks her up and tells her nothing you could do and brings her out, and Jesse, the look on Jesse's face when he's looking at the pregnant girl that died that Ellie just killed. Man, that hit me more because once again, as a father, you're like, man, you're associating this with this new baby, and he's the best person in the damn show. And I'm seeing that, like, man, oh, this sucks. Like, it was really bad.
I mean, it just kind of proves his right. He's like, I'm right about you. Like he's like, everything I said earlier, it's times 100 now. Because, yeah. So
they go back to the theater. Dina lets him in. She sees Tommy. She's happy to see it. Ellie kind of walks in like a zombie. Tommy tries to talk to her, kind of talk her off the edge. He kind of, I think it's obviously she's ready to go. He said, no, we have to go. And she doesn't fight anymore. And, she says, Tommy kind of looks at Jesse and looks at Ellie and says, all right, I won't let you guys talk this out. He goes out into the hallway. As they're sitting there, they had this conversation about the baby. She tells, thank you for coming back. They kind of make up because he says, she says, thanks for coming back. And he says, maybe I didn't want to come out and come get you. And then she said, he's like, well, did you want to come get me? And he's like, yeah. He said, I didn't just do it for you. Also, I think if I was the one that was out here doing something crazy, I feel like you will go through heaven and earth to come get me. So because of that, that's why I'll do the same for you. And it was like seeing them make up. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh God, you know what's happening. You know what's happening. And then you hear the noise out in the hallway and you see them running, and Jesse's running through the door. He pushes through the door and bam.
Right away.
Done.
Right away.
He's gone. He's dead. Exactly the one thing that he didn't want.
Facts.
Yeah. But it's funny because he was prepared throughout every other scene. The only time he wasn't prepared was that one.
Then. Yeah.
And it's funny because once again, Ellie not being prepared, you hear a gunshot. The first thing you think she will shoot a gun too, right? No, she hides.
Neither of them I think have guns, right? Oh no, Jesse had a gun.
They both have guns.
Yeah.
They're running with guns. Jesse's ready to shoot. You hear him get shot. She, instead of shooting back at Abby, she hides. Then she notices that Tommy is, held at gunpoint, and she's begging for Abby not kill Tommy. And they'll go through the whole conversation about, you kill all my friends. Well, I was trying to kill you and all that stuff. And I don't know. It was, man, the whole thing was crazy. She said, and then, Abby says, even though I was going through what I did, I let you live. I let you live. As in that she did her a favor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which another reason why I was like, man, fuck you.
Exactly.
I let you live. You killed my father for me. Fuck you. You should get killed. But yeah. And then she pulls the gun on Ellie, and then scene ends.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel about that? Straight out again.
So for me, like I said last night, I was like, it was pretty good, but you're gonna have to wait 2 years. It felt like mid-season finale, and then you got to wait a couple months and then boom, it's going to come back. But now you got to wait 2 years. And I'm just like, I'm not sure I like the way that ended, because now we got to wait so long to find out what happened. So I don't know. Good ending is just the fact that we got to wait so long for the next season.
Yeah.
Is it a satisfying ending? I think that's
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, I think that's the
really.
problem.
Yeah.
I honestly, I felt the same way I did with like House of the Dragon or Daredevil Born Again, where it just felt like a big setup or a big trailer for the next season, rather than
It felt very much like Daredevil.
yeah, which, while I enjoyed it, was tedious to watch, in hindsight. So I prefer when they just focus on, like kind of telling a self-contained story that does lend itself to another season, rather than like, oh, we'll see you in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt by the final frame of this.
100%.
Yeah. You wanna?
Yeah, go ahead and say Deuce again.
Yeah.
We have the GOAT. So, obviously, if I'm talking about Deuce, we gotta be talking like the GOAT. He says, quick topic change. Everyone has to choose Raccoon City or Silent Hill. You have to pick one.
To live? Like to live there, or just to play?
To play or just to live? Because I know which one I'm going with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's to play, it's Resident Evil for me always. So I go Raccoon City.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I'm going Raccoon City.
Yeah,
I do Raccoon City.
Actually, for both.
To survive.
To survive.
Yeah,
Raccoon City.
I'm still going Raccoon City.
Yeah, Raccoon City.
That's
Silent Hill is just like, you're basically just in hell almost. So it don't even matter.
Yeah, aren't you technically dead in Silent Hill?
Are you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Y'all, me, guys, right?
Yeah.
What do I don't do anything that I can't punch. I can't fight. If I'm dead, I'm the ghost too. Nah, bro. Go. Nah, put me in Raccoon City. I could punch a zombie. I'll be chopping as many heads as I could.
I don't want Pyramid Head doing stuff to me.
Facts.
He says Raccoon City. Yeah. I ain't seeing Jesse tell me that. Oh, we'll come back to that in a second. Yeah. Shifty says Raccoon City, Silent Hill's too unpredictable. Mama Bear says I choose the Thunderdome. Fernando says Raccoon City. Yeah, Maria says Raccoon City. Yeah. He said, yeah, I don't want Pyramid Head doing stuff to me. 100%. Oh man, but once again, dudes, thank you so much. I got something for you because you're the best, man. I love it. I appreciate you so much, and dude, we always can depend on you, and thank you. Really. So you get this one.
He's the best. I love it.
Exactly. Okay. Let's finish up this part for Last of Us. We saw Abby kind of wake up. She's tired. They said, "Hey, Isaac wants to see you." She's like, "Okay, don't make Isaac wait." Runs, kind of zooms out. We see that she's in Seattle day one, and it's going to be the beginning of the Abby story, and that's how it ends. How'd you guys feel about the finale as a whole? Start with B, man.
I thought the first half, or possibly even like the first the first 3/4 of it were pretty solid. I think the back and forth between Jesse and Ellie was a big component that really, really worked for me from an acting standpoint. I thought Bella Ramsey herself was great, especially during the last couple minutes of it. She really, really shined. I think where they went wrong, like I just mentioned, is it just seemed like one big setup for the next season, which is tedious, especially considering the gaps in between seasons, because they're probably not even going to start filming until sometime early next year. We're going to have to wait like roughly another year for the third season. It's I kind of feel like it's an easy way to lose interest in the show when you're doing stuff like that. But overall, I thought it was fine. They kind of lost their footing the last couple minutes of the episode, but other than that, I thought it was it was decent.
Right,
Yeah,
Anzo?
for me, I like Tank said, I don't think it was a satisfying ending. It was good for, I guess, what it was trying to do. But as a satisfying ending, I wouldn't say that, And then we got pretty much the predictions like we all thought is that the next season's gonna be a lot of Abby. So I've seen better episodes this season than this one, so it was all right.
Yeah.
Right.
So real quick, I looked up if they know when they think they're going to start. So supposedly they're going to start in June 2025 or summer of 2025. That's according to a Business Insider article on IMDb. Hopefully, maybe we get a little sooner if they do that. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But with the finale, it was okay. I mean, I thought that we were going to get the entire theater scene, but then the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? It kind of makes sense where they cut it off, because then it allows Abby's story to happen and build to that spot. So then, the end of, towards the back half of the next season, we're all caught up, and now we're doing, the new stuff, but, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that was my whole thing. I was like, it didn't feel like an ending. It didn't feel like a finale. I forgot whoever said it felt more like a mid-season kind of thing, and more like, we'll see you in 2 months. We're taking a little, mid-season break. I was like, no, this is like a little disappointing. And I kind of knew it was going to happen, because you're splitting the game up.
It's the only place you could have stopped it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because if you go any further, you're starting another story, almost another section. So but it was okay. I just wonder what people are going to think about next season when we get Abby's side of the story, and and what they're going to do with it. Are they going to make us feel more sad for her, or are we going to not like it, or they're just going to tell a story and it's like, you feel how you feel. So I don't know, but yeah, the season finale was. I agree with Anzo. There's better episodes this season.
I just
absolutely.
This is one of the worst finales I've seen.
Yeah,
it very much made me feel like I was watching Daredevil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're waiting for the other thing, kind of what Brandon just said. Like you said, it's a prelude to the next season.
Yeah,
that's all it was. It had nothing to do with getting some type of finality now.
Yeah, that's such a cop out. It's just focus on the story at hand that you're trying to tell over the course of this of the season.
Agreed. All right, here we go. Fernando says, I hated seeing Jesse and Tommy die, but cheered when that baby killer Ellie finally got what she deserved. Is it me being too much if I say that Tommy's not dead? I mean, we didn't see him die, right? We didn't see him die.
Yeah, he wasn't dead when we last saw him.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm not even telling you what's going on, what's going to happen in the future, but yeah, Tommy's not dead right now. So, I mean, as of right now, Ellie's not dead.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, Jesse's dead. We saw him on the floor. Jesse's dead. Tommy was still talking, and Ellie was still talking. So as of right now,
that's what we'll say. We're not going into the game, not talking about what's going to happen next season. Well, I'm just telling you that he's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Raccoon City, yeah. I saw this. Maria says the season finale gets a B-.
Yeah,
It's about right.
it's a good grade.
But I would give
Yeah.
it a C+, my man.
If it wasn't for that the
Mhm.
Mel scene, I mean, it'll probably go down to a C for sure.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, I got it as like a C too, to be honest with you.
It's like when one of those cop shows in the show that show the main cop getting shot, then it fades to black. 100%. I've seen that happen 1,000 times. How many times I see that happen in
Or
Castle?
what was the big I know this was before like most of our times here, but like what was the
Who shot JR?
Dallas? Who shot JR? Yeah, that's the one. Who shot JR?
Yeah, Dallas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
Dallas.
going over the Simpson. Who shot Monty Burns?
yeah.
Whole season, whole summer asking who did it. It was Maggie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Maggie. Fernando says, I thought when we saw Abby take everything went down was a dream sequence. I was like, about to get annoyed. I understand that. Yes, I can see that being the dream sequence. Yeah.
I hate when they do that. Like it was all a dream. I was like, cool, you just wasted like an hour or two of my time. F that.
Yeah,
You know?
for real.
That's such a Family Guy moment, right?
Yeah, exactly. Do a whole like 3 episodes and then find out at the end it was just fake.
It's just a simulation. I just wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Dudes, just
Yes.
watching expedited Game of Thrones until Last of Us 3 game is released. Then there's no telling how things would go.
I don't think they're doing a game. Like I said, I've been listening to a lot of interviews. Neil Druckmann was basically like, it ain't gonna happen unless they come up with like such a really good story. And I don't know if they will.
Well, Deuce, this is for you because you already know you're the GOAT. And wait a minute, here's a question: is Deuce the GOAT? Yes. And then what we say after this?
Hello, rich people. Troy's joining you. Yes, I'll hold.
Oh, appreciate you, Deuce, man. Awesome. You're just amazing. Nothing else to say, but you're incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
So, I also assumed Abby just took everyone out because of what happened to Abby's friends. She doesn't. Or should I say that? Maybe she does. She hasn't. That's what I say. She hasn't. And how would you think that happens if we, going to get another season?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what happens next in the theater is you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
You're just like, damn.
It's weird because they can't do exactly what the game did, right?
Yeah, they can.
No, they can't. They could do the same
in the theater
consequence. They can do the same consequence to time to what happens, but they can't do exactly the same way.
Like play it out the same way.
Yeah, because she's alone.
Is she?
I follow what you're saying.
I think she's alone, and that's why I was like, I don't know if you could do it the exact same way.
I think they're gonna do it.
But Dina's not there, so maybe he is there. Yeah, maybe he was ambushed, but I didn't see Tommy bleeding either.
Yeah, they really showed too much of Tommy, just him on the ground screaming.
Yeah, so if he's not bleeding and he was more with his hands up more than anything, it didn't like he was bleeding. So I don't know if they're doing the exact same thing personally. Deuce again.
Mm.
Same with GRRM. Yeah. We got the show before the books. We're done with the show. They need to slow down.
I mean, but the thing is, like, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't. I think this is we're gonna get a season 3, maybe a season 4, and then I think that's it. You know, and also the creator
was doing
yeah.
stuff. I mean, so
yeah.
I mean, who?
George R.R. Martin.
Oh my.
You know, but I know Neil Druckmann said like they're not gonna go past this like the second game in the show. So if they do change anything, they're gonna change it. But he said that we're not gonna start creating new stuff.
Fucking Christ,
like
bro.
What happened?
Oh, not you. Sorry.
Oh, I was like,
breaking news, guys. We got it.
Yeah. So that, I mean, he said that. So I mean, if they change the ending of how the game is, you know, but they're not gonna go past the second game. So
Mama Bear says those books are never coming out. So I have a better chance at Brandon.
Don't.
You probably right though. You probably right. That's how far away, Jay. It's not gonna happen.
Don't get your hopes up.
Shifty said, but no, she's not. She said she has a better chance than George R.R. Martin releasing the book. What do you mean? Dina's not there. She's upstairs in the dressing room asleep.
Yeah, she's there. Yeah.
Is Dina going down? I'm saying that she could be being held. I can't say what I want to say without saying too much. So that's why I'm, Yeah.
I think the shot came from Dina. Right? Your face to black, you hear a shot. I think it came from Dina.
Okay. Is Dina going to hobble down to help Ellie? I said probably.
Would you be surprised?
I think she's going to be thinking about her baby and not Ellie.
Interesting.
Maria says, do you think Dina will start to hate Ellie and blame Ellie for the death of her baby daddy?
I don't want to get into spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into spoilers.
I don't know how I can answer that. And
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. That's kind of the first thing that came to mind for me when it happened. Just kind of thinking about what's gonna what we're gonna see in
answering that would be a big problem, right? Because then we'll know what's going to happen with Ellie.
I mean, it can go both ways. You know, I'm trying to like it can go where like she could blame Ellie for everything because they're there because of her decision to go after Joel. But also, how much can she blame because she kind of twisted her arm a little bit? Like, hey, here's my backstory. Like, you know, so if you want to get revenge, I got revenge. You know, so they kind of like pushed her towards it too. So, you know, how much did Dina be involved? So can she get mad at her for that? You know, and how much does she love her? Maybe she's like, fuck, you know, shit happens.
I got a lot to say.
Yeah.
So, she has to get into the mix. It's super important. Something has to happen with her. So at least you're just fun to make blush. Oh, that's awesome. So that will be show versus game, and we could do that. That would be we could do individual characters, compare the show versus the game, and really discuss how it's different from each one.
Bad idea.
I would love to do that. You know, when we were just talking about putting out a lot of stuff this weekend for members only, we can start off members only for a week, and then we can release that. You know, or do 3 days for members only, and then release it to everybody else. Because I think that would be a great comparison. If we could take the characters and compare them to the game versus the show. I think that we could do a lot. So, do you guys have any? Well, for the people who haven't played the game, do you have anything you think that's going to happen? Any like theories that you think is going to happen in season 3?
Interesting. Well, I mean, I think Ellie's gonna end up killing Abby, right? At least that's where it's getting to. But getting there, I'm not sure. That's why I'm glad I didn't play the game, right? Because all you guys have played the game, you guys kind of have an idea where it's gonna go and what they may change and what they may keep the same. I don't have a clue, so I'm just going off of my theories.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm not even gonna read that. You just read that and enjoy it for yourselves, guys. Read it for yourselves. Oh man. Okay. Anything you guys got to say for towards The Last of Us? I mean, The Last of Us, talking about The Last of Us until we do these character breakdowns.
Well, I just want to say, man, it's always fun hanging out with you guys, talking about these shows and doing these, watch parties and all of that stuff, man. I appreciate it. It's always fun, and I don't know what the next show will be, but if we're all into it, I'll be here.
Appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you for sure.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Also, make sure anybody go check out Bigger Four Entertainment. Go check out Anzo on his channel.
Hey, no talking about Anzo's gonna take a little bit of break. He's tired of being a me
Streaming every day.
every day like me, yo. He's like, I've been doing this longer than you. Talking about I can't do this anymore.
I was like, oh yeah, once these shows are done, yeah, I'm gonna cut it down a little bit.
break.
Yeah.
So every day you feels like a job. Not to me, because I'm here down here anyway. This is my break. It's the only way I get away from it. What about you, Tank?
Yeah, I mean, that's what. Hopefully, we don't have to wait 3 years. If we wait a year, I think that's okay for the next season. Anything more than a year, maybe like 14 months. If you start getting to like a year and a half, 2 years, I don't know what the viewership is going to look like, And then if they're waiting for HBO to tell them if they're going to get a 4th season or not, and they decide to not finish the story in season 3, and HBO's like, viewership kind of sucked, we don't want to give you any more money. Like, what then? Are they just going to be like, no? Or are they going to drop money and promote the shit out of a last season? Like
a movie.
Or like a movie. A movie actually sounds like a good idea if you want to do that. But then if you're gonna do it, then that's pointless. Just add 2 more episodes, 2 more hours to the season. You know what I mean? So if we don't hear if they announce a season 4 in the next month or 2, then I don't know if we're gonna get a season 4. Because I feel like if we they'll have to know before they start filming. I feel like
agreed. Because if they end up doing it to where they assuming they're getting a season 4 and then they don't get one, that's going to be horrible. That's going to be absolutely terrible.
Yeah. It'll be very un-HBO like though.
Exactly.
HBO
needs to tell you beforehand what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Shifty says, all you need to know, Anzo, about is Abby's story is crazy where she goes. If they do it like the game, it's insanely crazy.
No, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what they do.
The set pieces are nuts in her story.
Cool. Yeah. More creatures, more zombies.
Just kind of unbelievable.
I don't think they're gonna do a lot of zombies. We still got to get the Rat King at some point.
Well, they should have done this episode.
They should have done it this season. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So they might deal with it because she's been in Seattle. So maybe she's been in Seattle longer, but I don't know. There we go.
Man,
Deuce,
the myth,
again,
the legend.
Wow. Good job.
Deuce. Don't see it happening. Last of Us 3 game has to happen so they don't know where to lead everyone. If I will say this is where I'm going to go. If we do get Last of Us season 3 game, then season 3 will be huge. If you get a game, it'll promote it so much that HBO will definitely greenlight a season 4 because Last of Us season 3 will be gigantic. And it will remind everybody, don't let it happen in December or but it takes 2 years to make a freaking game. So I don't know how it's possible to do it before season 3 comes out. Unless you really are going to wait 2 years. If they're going to be filming this summer, they should be done
by the end of the year.
Yeah, November.
Yeah.
which means if you take 6 months to do, when you release it again next year, this time,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is good. If they do any longer than that,
Because
it
also,
might be dead.
one of the showrunners is a co-creator of the game, so like he kind of has to pick and choose. You want to work on the game, even though he's saying there's not going to be one, but if he wants to be one, then you gotta. What are you going to do about the show? So
How much money would they have to give a game 3? Because HBO might look at it and say, we need a game 3.
Mm,
That might be interesting in itself.
I wouldn't rule it out at all.
If the numbers are so low, it's possible that the numbers are so low that you have to do it. That might be possible. The HBO says, we're going to give you the X amount of dollars to make this game happen, even if it's a short expansion to the second game, just to finish the story out. That might be enough to push a lot of narrative. I don't see it happening because I don't have heard anything about that. Yeah. HBO should already know what's going on with the show. Should already know the numbers, and they would have already said they're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, does the game not end with a definitive end? Game 2.
You're asking me a question.
I know. I don't know if you want to know the answer. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you want some of it spoiled,
Nah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
All I want to do is tell you that there's more to happen. There's more that happens.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna tell you. Not a lot.
Yeah.
but there's more that happens.
Like I'm saying I don't think they're gonna change from the game, but Brian's saying they could change from the game. He thinks they are gonna change from the game, and it could go either way. You know what I mean? So it's like
neither of us are totally sure about that at all.
Yeah, I mean, because they have changed things, and depending on what HBO is like, no, you need to change the ending, or like, or the showrunners were like, no, this is how I wrote it, and this is how it's gonna be. So I don't know.
HBO might say we're going to end it with season 3, but you're going to give us an ending.
Yeah, they could easily say that. HBO is like, no, you need to change the end.
Interesting.
So I don't know. We'll see because it'll be curious.
I mean, I don't know.
Would you guys have a problem if they changed the ending?
For me, yes.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Big problem.
Yeah.
Big problem.
A little bit. I know things like that change all the time just for the sake of kind of different forms of media, but I hope they keep it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because for me, I think you miss part of what the point of the story is if you change the ending.
Change it.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's another question. Do you think it's a possibility where they can change it and it's better?
The point, I don't want them to have, as long as they don't have a villain, because really, I feel like the villain's always been revenge.
Okay.
Trying to get revenge is the real villain of the story, not necessarily one person. They're both villainous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're both not good people.
Yeah.
Because they're mirrors of each other, and that's what you got, the first game, Joel and Ellie were very much mirrors of each other, but that's why he connected with her. The second game, Abby and Ellie, very much, parallels, like Elle said earlier. So, yeah. But can they change it and it'd be good? I would have to think about it. Right now, just super simple. If they go this way or this way, neither way is good for me. But I would have to think about it if there's other ways, because I'm just thinking like 2 possibilities.
I got you.
And it could bring in a third possibility.
I mean, do something different.
Hey, for dudes, for this one, appreciate you. Got one thing for you.
You got a mess! It's okay that mine's not movie quality.
I always forget I put the Wookiee from the Accolade in it.
Oh my goodness. Well, dudes, once again, thank you, man. Appreciate you so much. I agree though with the whole game 3. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So just the settings. Rhea says, I hope the actress who plays Abby pumps iron in the gym a little bit, get a little bit less skinny. Yeah, 100%. Those aren't working. They aren't working on the game of Last of Us 3 right now. It takes 5 years to make one of those. They're working on a game with the Nora actress right now, a space game. But Shifty, if they did an expansion pack, what if they did an expansion pack? Like,
I don't know if the creators would do it though, because he already said, he goes, unless it's a high quality story, he doesn't want to bother with it.
What if it's a great story to a great ending that no one ever thought of? He just gives us an ending, and you could pay
another like
$29.99. Yeah, $29.99 to get this unbelievable ending, which won't take you forever. The problem is, I don't know how you do both the show and the game.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how you get the incredible ending though either. You know, it's like that's my big thing is like if you find a way where you're just like, oh shit, that is a satisfying ending. You know. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe never mind, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
So I think numbers are going to be high. 7 people at my job are watching and love it. The numbers are, I mean, have been dropping. They've been dwindling. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, they have.
I mean, they're not what you expect them to be.
Yeah.
You know, so it can be definitive, but it can't easily be continued.
Yeah. That's why I mean it could go either.
I think they're going to stray away from the game and write some original storylines. That's the only thing that makes sense with all the crap they're trying to do. That's the reason I don't want them to do this. The reason I'm saying what I'm saying is because there makes no sense trying to do 14 episodes for what's left.
Yeah.
You know, but if they're doing some side stories, then I'll be cool with
the
it.
Jackson thing is be interesting. Like, give me an episode of like Jackson dealing with Jesse and dealing with what Ellie, dragged the entire town, into. I like that would be really interesting. I would really like to see that. It's very much like the Eugene stuff. The Eugene stuff was new, not in the game, and that was really like good. Really, really good.
And it built on, the narrative. It kind of gave us more detail. So that was good. They can easily make everyone relate to the villain if they chose to continue, or you just let the cordyceps win.
Also, who's the villain?
Yeah, who is the villain? Well, see, I feel like there would have been a much better villain if Katie O'Brien was Abby.
100%.
If Katie O'Brien was Abby, I'm like, yes, because you love to hate her. Abby knows how to tote iron. I got you. Can we get a TV show skin for the game? That'd be interesting.
That'd be cool.
I could see them doing that.
As Abby isn't nearly as bad as Ellie. Abby has a lot of things in the story that tries to make her like her after what she did to Joel. That's why the gamers hate the game and Druckmann.
I mean, Druckmann needs to shut up.
Yeah.
He's been talking a lot, very much like we would say with James Gunn. Like,
dude, shut up.
This whole season, Druckmann has just been talking and talking and talking. I'm like, bro, stop.
Katie O'Brien should be She-Hulk. It's too late now. I mean, they've done too much.
Yeah. But also, you want the She-Hulk to be big, and then the what's her name? When she's in human form to be small. If you get Brian, she's already big. It's like, all right, so you're just gonna like
how much bigger you gonna make her?
Yeah.
Your arms can't get bigger. Like it's already there.
Yeah. And the stand-in chick for She-Hulk, like she's massive. She's big, like just jacked and everything. So
They could stretch out season 3 with a lot of flashback episodes like they did with Walking Dead and Lost. And what happens? People lose interest. It's very dangerous. Camera
Absolutely.
tricks. You can use camera tricks.
like how they make Tom Cruise look 6 foot tall.
Said Brian Kate O'Brien is an interesting pick, and she's cute. I think she is cute. I do.
Yeah,
I know she's big and strong and all that stuff, but she's not bigger than me. Don't bother me none.
She's only 5'7",
you know, but she's
jacked. Yeah,
jacked, like literally. I mean, but she's not bigger than me, so it wouldn't bother me at all. To me, she'd still be little. So look how jacked I am. I pick her up on my hand and spin her on my finger. Then it's all right. I really don't care how big you are. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, the reason they didn't pick her is because she's not white, or not white enough, I should say.
That's 100% what it is, though.
Yeah.
This is a perfect way to end this stream. Deuce, you're awesome.
Nice.
So see y'all tonight. Who played Expedition 33? You didn't
Sorry,
play
man.
Deuce, here, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm going to play. I don't play. I haven't turned on my PS5 in at least a week. I'm going to play, and if not tonight, tomorrow. 100% guarantee. By the time we stream again, I will be saying, yes, it's been done. I guarantee it. I appreciate you. And man, this has been an amazing stream. You guys have been all so great with this. And I'm going to leave you guys with some good music real quick. There we go. Oh, that makes me miss it. So, game of the year, guys. Don't miss out.
50 bucks. Not bad.
That's awesome. You guys are amazing.
Nice.
We're going to do this. I'm definitely going to be playing it. I was starting to wonder where he bring up Expedition 33. That's awesome. Man, this has been a fun stream. I've been happy to talk about Last of Us, episode 7. I'm glad we were able to do all this. I cannot wait till we can do these comparisons. I think we can knock some of this out this week. I'll have a whole lot of fun doing that. So keep your eye out for those videos because it's going to be coming soon. I want to once again say thank you, Anzo. I know we already did it, but you guys don't understand, how much he's been. I turn around and the man is there. So, just really appreciate you being on here, man. Guys, please subscribe to Bigger for Entertainment. He's amazing. You won't regret it. The OOC is incredible stuff. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. So
thank you, appreciate it.
Of course, I'm not JG, but I'm hype you up a little bit. But you got anything else, guys?
That's it. Appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out with us.
All right, we got Mama Bear says, I can't believe it's not Brandon. 50 says A. Says, been in and out tonight. Hope you guys had a good Memorial Day with friends and family. Once again, I want to leave out of here. Well, say Alien Earth to the next big geek show in August. I feel like there's something else that's going to be coming out that I'm going to be talking about. And it has to do with Ironheart. And that's in June. So we'll see if it's good or not. One way or another, we'll talk about it. Till then, we have to check you guys out a little later. It was a whole lot of fun. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Deuce. Thank you, Shifty. Thank you, Mama, like always. Dan, appreciate you. Tony, of course. Always appreciate you.
Always.
Said Maria, of course, I already said. I Fernando. I was like, I know I'm forgetting Fernando. Sheed, appreciate you. B, always here for us. Collector, always the greatest. Appreciate all the
new members.
Yeah, right out of my mind. Man, L jumping in here. I love all your insight. Still the greatest. And you cost my family lots of money for the comic books. So thanks, L, for jumping in here. And man, most of all, anyone else I'm forgetting, thank you guys for being here with us. You're the reason why we do this. And I cannot wait till we can kind of get into these things, these breakdowns a little later. Till then, we will see you guys later in the week. See you on Thursday.
See you guys.
Later.
Peace.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.